let's talk about how to handle a situation when somebody swipes your blog content. Hey, this is Scott Weinkiewicz, and I have been blogging now for well over 10 years, and my blog content has been stolen from me many, many times. And over the years, I have learned the tried and true method for making sure that that stolen blog content is taken down. And there's a few reasons why you want that content removed. So one of the reasons is that it's bad for search engine optimization to have duplicate content out there. Now, there are ways to have your content shared elsewhere and have it not hurt your SEO, but that requires something called a canonical link or a canonical URL. Basically, in some metadata, now this is very technical, but basically in some metadata, the website in question could add a canonical URL pointing to the original. And what that would do is not hurt their site for SEO and not hurt your site for SEO. All it means is any of the traffic, any of the organic results that come to that site, any of the social shares, any of that potential SEO juice will actually go towards the original, your URL. And it also means that their site really shouldn't show up in search engine results for that content at all as well, because it's pointing to yours. So in turn, a canonical URL should help your original rank better, right? So that's one reason. Another bad reason is that it removes your branding. It removes your persona. It's putting it on somebody else's site that you may not have done it on purpose. So if somebody swipes your content and they wind up publishing on their site, it's bad for you as a brand, you as a person, because it's not your site that you control, that with your brand, your colors, your everything. It's somebody else's that's out of your hands. So over the years, I have come up with a tried and true email template that works. It's called a DMCA letter. I basically took one from somebody else that supplied a template, didn't steal it. It was a free template that was provided for you to modify. And I've in turn modified it for my own use. And I put it on my blog, I think like 4 years ago or something. When did I do it? Let me take a look, real quick look. So like 3 years ago. 3 years ago or so, I put this on my blog, and people are using it all the time. Now, I will be sure to link to how to write and format a DMCA letter in the description of this video, and I will also be putting this video into that article and updating it as well, so that it's all together. But I want to show you my screen and actually show you what I do. I'll show you content, because the reason why I'm recording this video is this just happened again. I have another piece of content that is recently published in February that was just republished by some random website that all they do is republish other people's stuff. And I want to show you the process I went through and I'm currently going through to have the content removed, so you can actually see it firsthand of how to do it. So let's go to the screen. Okay, so here we are, and you can see this is the blog article I wrote, and it was published in February. And it's just very simple. It's got a photographs and a little animated GIF, and that's it, right? So it's been shared 8 times so far, and at least on these social media channels. I don't count Google Plus anymore. And I got an alert. These 3 comments you see pending right here are actually trackbacks or pingbacks or whatever you want to call that from this blog post. So they actually reposted my content, cut it off, put a read original source. So it's not the full article, but they basically stole my photo without asking, stole the text content without asking. They did link back. They didn't include the rest of the post, and the canonical is them. It's not my URL. It's actually them. So you can see if I view the source and do a search for canonical, you'll see it is actually their URL. Now they're using Yoast SEO plugin, which means they could easily just add my URL as the canonical. And if they did that, I wouldn't care, because it's giving me the SEO juice that they might have received, right? So here's how to find it. First of all, see if they have a contact page. Now they have a contact form, and I did wind up emailing them about removing it. They did not even bother replying. So that is the first step. Do that. If they don't reply, then go to the bottom and see if they are part of another company, right? So like they are. So I open up that and you can see they have a contact form again, similar form that's right here, except there's an email address at the top. So here's what I do. I take that email address. I also, and I store that in a text document. I then also go to a Whois. So you can go to whois.icann.org and you can type in the domain. It's going to give you all this information. It's going to give you privacy guard email if it's private. Now you can see it's a Panama email address, which means this is really just somebody who is trying to steal content. It's not a legitimate person who is really trying to run a legitimate business. It's just somebody who automated this sort of content stealing. And then they also have, from the registrar, abuse@enum.com, right? So you can actually send an email to that. So what I say, and you look at all of them, see if there's any additional emails, because you're going to want to email every single one. And you're going to also want to copy all of this into the email you're sending, right? So in the email, in the blog post about how to write in format a DMCA letter, you'll actually see that I have the exact template that I use from Dear Sir or Madam all the way down to the bottom, which has copied. And I sort of redacted the original from this. And you're going to basically copy all of it. Now I'm going to jump into the email that I've drafted before I even hit send so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here we are in Kiwi. This is what I use for my emails. And you'll see that I have the letter all in here. I did modify the template to work with, what their DNS is, what the domain is, what the offending URL is, what the original is, the date and time, and all of the Whois information that's here. And you'll see it's actually sending to their abuse. It's sending that one email address is at the top of their other company website, and then the Whois guard, which will also forward to them as well. So it's going to 3 important places. And if there are more in the Whois when you're doing this, please add every email to it. And then if I scroll down, you'll see I did a PDF of the original and the offending one, and I attached it to this as well. So be sure to include as much information. You want to include screenshots if you have them and anything else. They also tweeted the photo and the link to them, and I'm not concerned because I don't care if their tweet is broken after they delete it. Otherwise, I could include the tweet in there as well and things like that, but I'm not too concerned about that. So all I would do is just hit send and then just wait. It is going to send this to all the important places, and then in a matter of days, the host or the registrar will actually wind up taking down the post because they legally have to, because they're stealing content. And they will actually say in their, where is it? Somewhere in the Whois, it's going to say something about stolen content. They're going to have like a copyright section, and you just have to you can just read through it, and it's going to say, if you prove that it's yours, we will remove it. So there you go. That's what I suggest you to do. That is how you can take down stolen content from your blog that's posted elsewhere just by sending a simple DMCA letter. I will say start with sending an email to the offending website without having to go to this action first and see if they even respond. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And there you go. So you can also use this, by the way, if you want, with photos too. You can use this, a DMCA letter for photos, and just modify a little bit. I've done that many times, and I've sent an invoice for the photos, and many times I actually get paid for that invoice with an apology. So you can also make some money off of stolen content fairly simply, just with a DMCA letter. So thank you for watching. I'll link to all this in the description, and see you in the next video.